Justice for Meeks. Justice for Meeks. Justice for Meeks. Come on, y'all. Come on. We got to get justice. I got the link up there. So if you want to come up here, Sean, if you're there, Queenie, if you're there, Dom, where you at? I need y'all come up here and help me talk about this. If you guys have any information, any new leads about this case, I need you guys to please to come up here and spill the beans. Don't tell me where I can find it. I need you to spill the beans, okay? If you guys want to send me any information, feel free to hit me up at GG Medici, and I'm going to receive it all. All right, how you doing, Sean?
Hey.
I'm so glad that you came up here, Sean. Sean, is there any new stories, any new leads you know or you heard? I know you heard something.
Well, what I have heard is that Holly supposedly has had some stalking charges added to her.
All right.
Let me see. Oh, and Ari has filed a motion to the appellate court for bail.
So let's talk about the Holly Johnson. Hey, Queenie.
Hey.
Let's talk about the Holly Johnson. She's stalking. So was she I'm assuming she's stalking Romika, but was she stalking Homeboy too, or was it just Romika?
I'm thinking just Romika.
Oh, okay, just Romika. Uh-huh.
Because
So
if you think about it, because this is where my mind has been all along. Every time she went to the courts, every month when she went to the courts trying to get that restraining order against Romika, she knew stuff about Romika. She had addresses. She knew the address to her son's school. Um, and like I've been saying a lot, the investigators are looking on social media. And this girl on her I Would Never rant, she was saying that Romika's car was broke down on the side of the road. How do you know that? She had mail with Romika's name on it, an address on it. Why do you have that? Stuff like that. It's just crazy. The girl is crazy.
let me ask you this, Sean. Now, how did she, okay, once she got it, did she run up and tell people she got it? Like, how did we find that discovery?
What do you mean? What
How
discovery?
did we find out that Holly had Romika's mail?
Well, she said it while she was on the Zoom meeting with the judge.
Okay, so
She
Holly
said it.
lawyer said it?
No. Earlier this year, no, not this year, this 26, earlier 25, when she was going every month. Okay, so she was finally granted the order of protection against Romika in July, right? The only month Holly did not go to court, I believe, was April. Okay, so and she started in December of 24. So December, January, February, March, May, June, July, right? All of those months when she showed up either in court or on Zoom, for a few months she was telling the judge that this is the address that I have, but they were saying they went there, no one was there. And the judge was asking her, well, if you find out a more, updated or better address, let the court reporter or whatever the advocates know, and we'll get the sheriffs on it. Well, one month she showed up and it's like, Your Honor, I have the new address. But even before that, back to answering your question about the stalking, before that appearance, one appearance, she even said to the judge, well, can we have her served at her son's school? What if I give you her son's school address? And the judge, instead of the judge telling her, are you okay? He said to her, I don't think that'll work because we don't know when Romika, he said she, but we don't know when Romika's going to actually be there. So I would rather you get an address and we get the sheriff's on it, you know. But yeah, then she finally showed up again and she said, I have an address. And he said, okay, well, before we hang up, give the information to the advocates or whatever program that is, and before you log off your Zoom. So then the next time she showed up, Romika done got served some hearing situation, and they both are on Zoom now. Romika at her location, Holly at hers. But Romika is actually able to, like, I don't know this lady, Your Honor. You know what I'm saying? I don't know her, but my son does because we share father, you know. My
Right.
son, I'm seeking my own order of protection. Romika actually said. So the judge said, okay, listen, ladies, we're going to, now that you know, Romika, we're going to meet next month and we're going to, you guys will be able to argue your sides and we'll come to we'll dispose of this, come to a dissolution for this. I mean, a solution for this. And they both, Romika was like, well, this date won't work because I'm doing this. Holly said, I'm going out of town. Romika said, I'm taking nursing classes and I don't have the time to take off yet. And the judge said, well, this is the date. Okay, I that's the best I could do. So Holly showed up. Romika didn't. This was in July. That's why Holly got the order of protection in the first place. But to bring home my point, every time she showed up in
Hold on,
court,
Sean. That was some good tea. I love it. I love Sean.
man,
Spill that tea. Don't
Yeah.
tell me where to go, y'all. Just spill it. That was good. That was good, honey. Go
yeah,
ahead,
Mhm.
Sean. That was good. Keep talking.
yeah, I'm just saying, every time she showed up in court, she knew stuff about Romika. She had no business knowing. But when the judge asked her, how do you know this? Her simple question was, we share baby fathers. That doesn't answer his question about where you got that mail from. That doesn't answer the judge's question, but the judge let her get away with it. That's in transcripts. I am not speculating or making this up. This is in the transcripts.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
That's
so
weird.
I believe that the investigators are doing their job. And she thought she had deleted some stuff because she did deactivate all her social media, or someone did. But other people have screen recorded stuff. And, a lot of these sites, they have clouds. And so, and then, like I said, all you had to do was pay attention to every time she showed up in court.
Yeah.
She knew stuff about Romika she had no business knowing. I dare say that Holly might have had something, or Carlos had something to do with Romika car breaking down on the side of the road.
Mm, 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 mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ooh, I tell you, that was some good tea, Sean. Queenie, what's your response to that?
That's crazy. Obsession. Obsession, obsession. Like,
Could you imagine if somebody got into your mailbox and took your mail?
hell no. I got a lockbox.
Mm, 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 mm. Ooh,
Mm-mm.
y'all get these likes up. Get y'all likes up. All right. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
play some of this video. This video just came out. I want to see what they're talking about.
6 murder charges, 1 victim, 1 crime, 1 day.
Hold on, 6 murder charges. Damn, she do got 6 murder charges.
Those are those enhancements
Mm.
I was telling you about.
I know, but how he said it like that sounds
Yeah.
so horrible.
Yeah, it's
Ooh,
not 6 murder charges. It's 1 murder charge with 5 enhancements.
ooh, my God.
Yes.
Mm.
I like how he put it. 6 murder charges. Damn.
It does add
Ooh,
time, though. It does.
ooh,
It
6
It adds
does.
murder
time.
charges, y'all. She got 6 murder charges. Holly got 6 murder charges. This is a dangerous person.
Do you know what the breakdown of the time is for those enhancements, Gigi?
I don't.
You want me to tell you?
Go ahead.
Okay. Turn this light on because I wrote it down.
All right.
Okay.
Queenie, would you date a guy with 6 murder charges?
And no.
I
Okay.
know that's right. Okay, so whew, Lord. So
That's crazy. She got a
she
total
has
of
to
11
be
charges.
she has to be convicted of the first one, right? That's the first degree. And I'm looking. I wrote it all on my table, girl. It's on my table. I got a piece of paper taped to my table. And altogether, she can get 15. I'm trying to add them up.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna play a little bit. I'll come back to you.
6 to 30 years added to whatever she gets.
Okay.
Added to the first degree.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna play a little bit more.
Okay.
You're probably thinking that's impossible. How do you charge someone 6 times for the same murder? Well, in Illinois, it's absolutely possible, and Holly Johnson's life is almost over. Because Illinois doesn't do second chances. Illinois doesn't do parole. Illinois doesn't do early release. And when you stack 6 Class M felonies with firearms.
Now, I just want to look, Queenie and Sean. Now, when Romika, mom Tina, talked to the news, you see that support. They are focused. But when Carlos had his people, they was looking any and everywhere. He lacked support. So, Carlos, if you trying to come with it, boy, you better come with it because nobody's supporting you. You can't even get your own mom and your sister to back that ass up because they know you full of shit, Carlos. Let's go.
Enhancements and consecutive sentencing, you don't get a prison sentence. You get a death sentence.
All right.
Officially exist. It's not in the Illinois Criminal Code. It's not even written into law. Class M is a courthouse slang, what prosecutors and defense attorneys call first-degree murder when they're standing in hallways, when they're negotiating in back rooms, when they know someone's life is about to end. The M stands for murder, and it exists in its own category because first-degree murder doesn't fit anywhere else. Let me explain the Illinois felony structure so you understand why this matters. Illinois ranks felonies from most serious to least serious. Class X, Class 1, Class 2, Class 3, Class 4. Class X is the worst. Aggravated kidnapping, armed robbery with a firearm, predatory criminal sexual assault. If you're convicted of a Class X felony, you're looking at 6 to 30 years in prison. No probation, no supervision, straight to the Department of Corrections. But first-degree murder? First-degree murder is so serious that it breaks the scale. The sentencing range for first-degree murder is 20 to 60 years minimum. And that's before firearm enhancements, before aggravating factors, before consecutive sentencing. First-degree murder doesn't fit into Class X. It's worse. So lawyers started calling it Class M. And here's the part that destroys most defendants. You can be charged with multiple counts of Class M for killing one person. Not because you killed multiple victims, because there are multiple legal ways to prove you committed murder. Illinois Statute 720, ILCS 591, recognizes several theories of first-degree murder. Each theory is a separate legal pathway to conviction. Each theory can be charged as a separate count, and each count carries the same sentence, 20 to 60 years minimum, with the possibility of natural life. So when Holly Johnson shot Romeka Meeks Blackman 3 times in the face on September 8, 2025, prosecutors looked at the evidence and said, we can prove this murder 6 different ways. And that means 6 separate charges, 6 separate counts, 6 separate chances for the jury to convict. Right now, Holly is officially charged with 1 count of first-degree murder. That's what gets filed at arrest. That's what gets read at the detention hearing. But that 1 count is just the beginning. The grand jury, indictment, which typically happens after preliminary hearings, after evidence is presented, after prosecutors have built their full case. That's when the charges expand.
Okay.
That's when 1 count becomes 6. And that's when Holly realizes she's not fighting a murder charge.
Oh,
She's fighting 6 murder charges. Let me break down what those...
Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
I wanted to explain before it got much further and people got kind of confused if they were. When he says that the prosecutors have 6 different ways to prove it, what he means is with the first degree pre-med M charge, she's guilty because she did this. She's guilty because she did this. You see what I'm saying? That's what he means when he says that they can prove it 6 different ways.
Got it.
That's what that means. And with that being said, she'll be convicted of the pre-med M with these enhancements. And those enhancements add 15 to 25 years to the up to 60. You heard that?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Of
She's
that.
done. She's
The
done.
only thing saving her is the fact that she does not have an extended felony record like Carlos does. I've been saying this to you, and people have an attitude when I talk, but I know what I'm talking about.
You definitely do.
But I thought you said she do have a record. That y'all didn't y'all say she did something? No.
She has a like a misdemeanor. It was like petty larceny or something. Yeah. She was shoplifting. It may be grand larceny depending on what the thing was priced at, but she was shoplifting. So but like Carlos has an extended record and he has DV arrests. They never went to court because the 2 females never showed up. And so their names didn't even make it to the report, but he would be arrested when the incident happened, and then they would just not show up. So he has an extended record. She just has a shoplifting offense on her name.
All right.
6 counts will look like when prosecutors firing a 9mm handgun at point-blank range. Witnesses saw Holly walk to her car, get the gun, walk back, and fire. That's a coordinated act. That's conspiracy. 31 years old. She's not living to 300. Near National Teachers Academy, where Romeka had just dropped off her 6-year-old son. Illinois takes crimes near schools extremely seriously. That pushes the sentence higher. Aggravating factor number 5. Child present during commission of the crime. Holly and Carlos had their 6-month-old baby in the car when this happened. A child was present at the scene of a murder. That's an aggravating factor. That pushes the sentence higher. Aggravating factor number 6. Consciousness of guilt. After Romeka fell to the ground, after she'd been shot 3 times, in the face, Holly and Carlos fist bumped. Multiple witnesses saw it, and Carlos said, out loud, in front of witnesses, "It was self-defense, right? It was self-defense." They were coordinating their story before police even arrived. That shows consciousness of guilt. That shows they knew what they did was wrong. That pushes the sentence higher. When a judge sits down to determine Holly's sentence and reads through these 6 aggravating factors, 45 years starts looking generous. 50 years becomes reasonable. 60 years becomes justified. Natural life becomes appropriate. And here's the part that destroys any hope for leniency. Even if Holly's attorney negotiates a plea deal down to 2nd-degree murder, the firearm enhancement still applies. Let me repeat that because it's critical. Even with a reduced charge, the Tier 3 enhancement doesn't disappear. 2nd-degree murder in Illinois is a Class 1 felony.
Wasn't that what you were concerned about, Sean?
Exactly. I rest my case.
But they said that even if one go by, that they're still going to charge her.
Well, that's true. That's absolutely true. And I'll say it again. I think she's guilty of 1st degree, but it doesn't hurt to cover your ass. CYA is always good. Cover your ass. Put that 2nd degree on there. What's wrong with it? It doesn't negate anything. It doesn't lessen anything. But it sure will help. You know how they say you can't take too many vitamins? Did I take my vitamin today? Well, it won't hurt if I take another one. You see what I'm saying? There's always a possibility that there will be one person on that jury, just like it's a whole Holly supporter crew on all the social sites with all the evidence that's stacked against her. You still have people that don't know Holly any more than we know Romika that support this delusional crazy chick. So in order to cover your butt, and people, prosecutors, this is what they do. So I'm just hoping that they add to second degree.
All right.
I'm just hoping so that, like he said, even if they say, well, we don't think it was premeditated because they did have words, or because this witness or that witness, or I don't see this or I don't see that, because it's all about perspective. When the jurors are looking at what evidence is being presented, it's all about perspective. And they're humans just like we are, right? And somebody could possibly say, well, I know she did it and she shouldn't have did it, but I don't see premeditated. So I don't agree with first degree murder. Give them their second degree. Just to be safe.
Felony with a sentencing range of 4 to 20 years. Sounds way better than first degree, right? But add the mandatory 25-year firearm enhancement for causing death, and you're looking at 29 to 45 years total. Even with a plea, even with the charge reduced, Holly is still facing decades in prison. The firearm enhancement is the trap. It's the reason Holly can't negotiate her way out of this. It's the reason no amount of remorse, no tearful allocution, no claim of self-defense changes the math. She discharged a firearm. She caused death. The statute says 25 years to life gets added automatically, and there's nothing her attorney, the judge, or anyone else can do about it. Real quick, if you're still watching, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this case is about to get even. In Illinois, when that judge bangs the gavel and announces your sentence, that's exactly how long you serve. Not a day less, not a day more, every single day. And it gets worse, because Illinois doesn't just refuse to grant parole. Illinois also refuses to give good time credits to people convicted of first-degree murder. Good time credits are what most states use to incentivize good behavior in prison. You stay out of trouble, you participate in programs, you show you're rehabilitated, and the state knocks time off your sentence. In most states...
All right, they say in Illinois, you don't have to prove premeditated to get first-degree murder. You only have to prove intent.
I saw that myself, and that's fine. I still said what I said.
I know.
There could be somebody on the jury. There could be somebody on the jury that does not think she intended. You know what I mean? That's all. It's like, I don't understand. It's not like we've never seen somebody get off, and we're sitting there like, are you kidding me? How did the jury not? You know what I mean? We just went through this, and I know that Holly don't have Diddy money, but still, we just saw what we saw with Diddy. He clearly was flying all over the world and had his whole enterprise locked in on making sure that he could do what he wanted to do, with whom and where, and however long he wanted to. He still got away with it. You know what I'm saying? He got away with stuff that we were like, he's not going to get away with. He got away with it. I don't want to get Holly off. I don't understand if y'all don't understand the words that's coming out of my mouth, but I clearly said that I believe she's guilty of first-degree murder. But because this is the United States and people have their own brain and are not working or functioning off of being a dictatorship, they think the way they want to. And people sometimes have a different perspective. That's all I'm saying. Just because you add second degree, it does not negate first degree. It doesn't. I don't understand. And ain't nobody paying me to say a damn thing.
I get you. All right.
A 40-year sentence to 30 years, 25 years, sometimes even 20 years. Not in Illinois. If you're convicted of first-degree murder in Illinois, you get 0 good time credits. 0. You cannot reduce your sentence through good behavior. You cannot earn credits for participating in educational programs, vocational training, Substance abuse treatment, nothing. You serve 100% of your sentence. Every single day. Now let's talk about the thing that turns a life sentence into an impossible sentence, consecutive sentencing. Because if Holly is convicted on multiple counts, and remember, prosecutors are charging 6 counts for the same murder, the judge doesn't have to make those sentences run at the same time. The judge can stack them, one after another, back to back. And when you stack 6 45-year sentences consecutively, you get 270 years. Let me explain the difference because this is absolutely critical to understanding why Holly is finished. Concurrent sentencing means your sentences run simultaneously. Let's say you're convicted on 3 counts of first-degree murder. The judge sentences you to 45 years on each count. If those sentences run concurrently, you serve all 3 sentences at the same time. So you serve 45 years total. Not 135, just 45, because all 3 sentences are happening simultaneously. Consecutive sentencing means your sentences run one after another. Same scenario. 3 counts, 45 years each. But now the judge orders the sentences to run consecutively. That means you serve 45 years for count 1. Then, when those 45 years are done, you start serving 45 years for count 2. Then when those are done, you start serving 45 years for count 3. Total time, 135 years. You serve them end to end. In Illinois, judges have extremely broad discretion to impose consecutive sentences for violent felonies.
Ooh, did y'all hear that? She is cooked in the comment section, right? Hashtag
Definitely.
she cooked.
Definitely cooked.
Holly is cooked. Queenie, what do you think about this? She is done.
Yeah.
No patrol. No
She
patrol.
done.
She is gone.
She definitely cooked.
She is. Like, there's no need to argue the mitigating circumstances of the case. We all get it. But let me ask you guys in the chat a question, if I may, Gigi. With the George Zimmerman trial with Martin, y'all know who I'm talking about. George Zimmerman in Florida. What was the little boy? The boy name? Trayvon Martin. Okay. The 911 dispatch told George, don't follow him. The 911 dispatch told him to stay in the house. The 911 dispatch told him, you don't need your gun. The 911 dispatch told, you're following him, don't bother him. We're sending a car. What did George do? George did it anyway. George approached him. George got into a confrontation with him. They started fighting. Trayvon was beating that ass. Trayvon didn't start with that man. That man started with him. Trayvon was whooping that butt. And what did George Zimmerman have to do? He shot him and killed him. Did George Zimmerman go to prison? No.
No.
What did his lawyer say for the reason why his client got off? Because he was overcharged. Now, someone in the chat did say that that second degree is included. I'm paraphrasing. That is true, Gigi. I just Googled it. That is true in Illinois. If you have a preponderance of the evidence, if you have the evidence, second degree can automatically be applied. Yes, it can. So I will correct myself and throw that in there. They don't have to. So we're good. Okay? We're good. They don't have to add the second degree because as long as they have the evidence, second degree automatically applies.
All right. That sounds good. That sounds good, y'all. Second degree automatically applies. Kylie is done. I'm talking about life. She ain't never getting out. Never,
No.
never, ever. She ain't never getting out, y'all. And Carlos, Queenie, how do you think Carlos feel about this? You know that got to be scary for him, right? Because he got to know you're next, buddy.
Next.
So what do you think, Queenie?
I don't know. I think I gotta stop saying I don't know because I know what I think. I think the whole thing is sad. Like, this is why it's important to think before you leap. Like, if she thought about this, if she knew what she knew now, I bet you she wouldn't have pulled the trigger. Because if Romika lived, either way, it's sad
Yeah, but
because
you know
she
what,
aimed to
Queenie?
disfigure her.
You know what, Queenie? I think she really
Mhm.
thought she was gonna get away with this. This was making it so much worse.
Yeah.
You
Right. I
know?
think she thought she wasn't going to die. Or maybe she did shoot the killer. I mean, she shot her in the face. Yeah.
But she wanted to get away with the murder. She wanted to be
She
free. That's what
did.
she thought.
She
Like
thought she was
somebody
going to run
told
into the.
her. Like her
Hmm.
parents told her mom told her family misled her. Her family and her boyfriend all
Hmm.
misled her astray.
I
Hmm. She
believe
ain't
because
getting
she
out of
had
there.
that piece of, I believe because she had that piece of paper, she thought that I have an order of protection. I have an order of protection. I believe she thought that that was gonna get her off.
Yeah, because somebody
Yeah.
told her that. I don't know
Absolutely.
who told her that, but somebody told her.
Stupid. They was setting her up.
Well, the whoever told her is a dummy and really thought that
Exactly.
like they could get off with it.
Hmm.
I
And I
don't
heard,
think they actually thought this through, like about the people around. And I'm sure whoever told them this, they was like, but you didn't do X, Y, and Z. I don't think they really, you know how somebody can tell you do this and you're gonna get away with it. But I think
right,
Holly
Mhm.
and Carlos, they skipped a lot of pieces. They didn't think that was needed.
right.
And they just
Mhm.
think they can get away with it. That's why they were so arrogant. Like she was so arrogant after the kill.
And a
Um,
lot of
Mhm.
people don't understand the law when it comes to self-defense. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Mhm.
a lot of states are even enacting stand your ground laws, right? They are.
Mhm.
But it's kind of touchy, you know what I mean, with that stand your ground situation. So let's just take the stand your ground out, right? First of all, a piece of paper, when you get that order of protection, there's a clause on there that when you sign your name to it, you agree that if you're ever in a situation and you can call the police, you will call the police and get to
Yeah.
safety. There's a clause on there. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to self defense, if you walk away and come back, you can no longer scream self defense.
Mm.
You just can't do that. Why didn't you keep going when you could? If you can, you're supposed to. Let me give y'all a little scenario. A few summers ago, we had a peeping Tom, and I screamed out. My husband jumped up, ran down the stairs. By the time I got to the top of the stairs, he had already grabbed a baseball bat and was on his way out the door. He beating dude down. I stop him. I yell. I tell him to stop. He stops. We call the police. The police come. I show him the Ring doorbell camera. Guess who went to jail? My husband.
What?
Exactly. Exactly. You know why
Yo.
you're saying what? Because you have a misconception, just like I did, of self defense.
Yeah, I think I need to read up on some laws.
Exactly. My husband went to jail for defending our property. This man was on our property.
And he was
Okay.
still in the house when he beat him, right?
No, he was out in the yard. He ran
Oh,
out the door. The man was looking up in our window.
but still, that's
Exactly.
crazy.
Exactly. My husband went to prison. I mean, went to jail. He didn't go to prison. Ooh, Lord. But
Oh
he got
my
arrested
God.
from our house that night.
That is
Yes.
wild.
Yes. Hmm.
I knew the self-defense law wasn't nothing, but dang.
See? See what I'm saying? People got to read up on their stuff. It's not as cut and dry as we think it is.
Feel like I picked the wrong career path.
Now I'm in New York State, and yes, stuff, it tweaks and stuff per state, but
Mhm.
when they on your property, Everybody think on my property I can do and I'm going to bed that night. No,
Right.
no. My husband got arrested for protecting his wife, his son, and our home and our property from a
That's
peeping Tom.
crazy.
Yes,
A
ma'am.
peeping Tom. Did you guys know who it was?
Yes. hmm We
Oh,
found out. We found out because he dude did get arrested too. I'm
Okay.
not going to leave that out. He got arrested too because what he did was wrong. But apparently, what my husband did was wrong too.
Wow.
hmm Yep. And you know what the guards. Now, my husband was held a hero at the jail. The guards was like, "Man, I would have did the same thing." Blah blah blah. But you know what they told
Exactly.
us? They said next time
What?
drag him in. If you put one foot in your
That's what I
door,
was asking because
that's
I
what
was like,
they
oh,
told
he's
him.
in the yard. You gotta get him in the
Yep.
house.
Yep, that's what he said. That's funny. Superwoman just said it in the chat. That's what they
Hmm.
told him. They said next time, drag him and put one foot in the door. That's all you got to do.
what?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
drag him in.
Mm.
Are you sure
hmm
about the dragon part?
Well, I'm just saying that's what he said. He said drag him in, put one foot in the door.
Drag him in.
Mm.
Just saying.
Okay,
One
Yep.
so
foot in the door.
if they break in and one leg in the window, then what? You can shoot the one leg.
If they break in, you can prove the break in. They've been in your house.
I'm saying,
Okay.
what if they climbing in the window? Lift that window up, put one of them legs.
You doggone right.
Okay, shoot that
Because
leg
when
off.
you do that, what's in the window? Their blood, right? That meant they
Right.
were in the window. If you shoot him and he fall out the window, but his blood is still in the window, you can prove he was there.
Okay. Mm.
Yes. People don't, and it taught me a lesson. I'm like, what? So they're like, sorry to,
He can't be
I don't know.
outside.
Here I am. I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing. Here go the video. Whoop de woo. What? And they're like, yeah,
Dang. The
hmm
irony
Self defense is not what we think it is.
Mm.
is
Not
definitely
when it come to
not.
our black behinds. Not when it come to our black behinds.
Mm-mm.
No, it is not.
That's sad.
hmm
Peeping time. I'm sorry you have to go through. He was trying to peep
Right?
at you, Shine.
Yeah, yeah. He was because the way my house is situated, the window he was looking in was on my side of the bed.
Oh, that is so creepy.
Yeah, and if I'm lying, my husband right there, he can hear me. He'd be like, "No, ma, he was looking at my side of the bed." No, he was looking up. He was looking up in the window on my side of the bed.
That is why I always live on the second floor.
Well, our bedrooms are upstairs, and you can see. You can see
What?
if you stand back far enough. Y'all
Hmm.
tell me this: at night, it's dark outside,
Hmm.
nothing but trees, tree lined street, and you got a 50-inch TV on. Does that light not
Hmm.
illuminate your room?
That is
You
true.
ever pass you ever pass by somebody's house and their TV is on and you can see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Our bed is right in front of that TV. He was
Um.
standing there. He said he was taking a piss. I believe he was, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
believe he was
Nasty.
pleasuring himself. Yeah, I do. Because I don't know how long he was standing there. I
Ew.
don't know how long he was standing there. And I just happened to just take a look out the window. It was 2 o'clock in the morning and I was still awake. And I just
Hmm.
happened to look behind me and look out the window. I like gazing out the window. It's beautiful outside. And I
Right.
see him standing there. And I'm stunned for a few seconds. And then I'm like, what the F is you doing in my yard? And before I could take my next breath, my husband then threw the cover back, grabbed the baseball bat, took 4, 5 steps at a time down the stairs, and was out the door before I could even put on my house coat and get to the top of the stairs. And all I heard was clunk, bong,
Ooh.
bong, bong. And I'm like,
All right.
Polly, stop it. You won't kill
Oh my
him.
gosh,
You
it's
know,
not funny. It's not funny.
it's
But
not. But
like,
he was standing. He could see me. That man could see
oh,
me because he saw me see him, and he like, oh
oh,
my bad, my bad. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry you have to go through that. Okay, I
Yeah.
want to
Let's get back on
turn.
Romita.
You want to
Yes.
play a little bit more?
yes.
And
Yes.
first-degree murder is the definition of a violent felony. So if Holly is convicted on 2 counts, the judge could sentence her to 45 years on count 1 and 45 years on count 2, consecutive. 90 years total. If she's convicted on 3 counts, that's 135 years. 4 counts, 180 years. 5 counts, 225 years. All 6 counts, 270 years. Now obviously 270 years is a meaningless number in practical terms. Holly isn't living to be 301 years old. But that's exactly the point. Consecutive sentencing is how judges impose de facto life sentences without actually saying the words natural life. It's a mathematical guarantee that you die in prison. And here's why prosecutors absolutely love consecutive sentencing. It's appeal-proof. Think about it. If Holly is convicted on 6 counts and sentenced consecutively, she could spend 10 years appealing count 1. Maybe she wins. Maybe an appellate court finds an error and overturns that conviction. Great. She just knocked off 45 years. But she's still got 225 years left on the other 5 counts. She still deserves to be one reason to
So it
20
looks
years.
like this video is pretty much telling us that she's done. It's over for her. 6 felonies, murder felonies. So this is wild, y'all. Ooh, my goodness. I tell you.
She's
I
cut.
want to go to the internet. I want to see is any updates, what people are saying in the internet. I hope you guys don't mind. I want to go here and I want to see any of the latest. Okay, what are you talking about?
That's what that whole thing is. Like, we would not be here had Romika been a faithful member of Mind Your Business Ministries.
I know he didn't. What?
What?
See what I mean?
Oh,
See
he
what
said,
I
mind your
mean?
business
She was a
ministry.
faithful member of the Mind Your Business Ministries. We would not be here. If
Wait,
How
what?
about if Carlos was a member of Mind Your Business and stopped stalking? How about that?
See what I
Mhm.
mean? All they need is one of them on the jury.
You know what I'm
See
saying?
what I mean?
Mind Your Business Ministries. That's all you got to do. Yes, you see buddy ass that you used to be with and shit, but she with whoever she with. And if you would
And this dude is older. He in his 60s.
I thought it was funky, to be honest with you, for a
went on
second.
ahead and went to Mind Your Business Ministries, and you could have cussed them out in your car, in your mind, to your friends.
Exactly.
You would have not spun that
That's
U-turn.
exactly what I meant.
You wouldn't
That's
have to
exactly
even
what I
talk.
meant.
Oh, okay, but y'all don't feel that way, homeboy. When them cops pop your black ass, okay?
No,
Exactly.
that's right.
How about we say, well,
Mhm.
your ass shouldn't have been speeding, or well, you shouldn't have that marijuana in your possession, okay?
Yep.
Mhm.
So, he ain't gonna have that same feeling when them cops pop that black ass. All right,
But do y'all understand where I was coming from?
yeah, I hear you.
Yes. Yes. Mhm. This is crazy.
I'm just going through to see what's out here. Anything new? I'm looking at things that was posted today. A lot of music, a lot of videos, but not too many doing a lot of commentary on it from TikTok point of view at all. I like to come here sometimes, but I don't see nothing new, no updates. I wonder what she's talking about.
You know what? I hope a lot of ladies let this be a lesson learned, because just because you're dating a man and you don't like his ex does not give you the right to take to social media, beefing with this person, having a beef war with this person all over social media, not thinking that one day you are gonna have to face this person. And the day that you face this person, now you feel like your life is threatened and that you have the right to pull a weapon just because you have a concealed to carry. And not only just because you feel like you have a concealed to carry that you can pull out a weapon, but Holly Johnson had just took out a protection order out on Ramika Meeks months before she unalived her. The reason why that protection order didn't stand is because Ramika Meeks never received it. In order for you to be protected by a protection order, first you have to file one. And secondly, the person that you are filing the protection order out on has to be served with that protection order. Ramika Meeks was never served with a protection order from Holly because they never served her. So therefore, Ramika Meeks did not know that she wasn't supposed to be within 100 feet of Holly Johnson that day. And just because you have a license to carry, that does not mean that you can pull it out when you are angry and unalive somebody in cold blood the way that Holly Johnson unalive Ramika Meeks that day. And then later on, once the charges were brought to her, now you want to scream it was self-defense. I really wish that people would understand what self-defense is and when you're able to use the defense, self-defense. You can't use self-defense just because you arguing back and forth with a woman and this woman is threatening you. And just because you know you got your piece in the car, you can go pull it and say, I'm going to use it on her because she's threatening me. And I'm going to say that was self-defense because I felt that my life was in danger. No, you cannot use self-defense in that order. You cannot. And I wish people would really understand when you can use self-defense and when you cannot claim self-defense. Now, let's just say Holly and Ramika Meeks were fighting. They were fighting. Okay, let's just say Holly and Ramika Meeks are fighting. Holly got her piece on her. And in the midst of them fighting, she's able to pull her piece out and fire it towards Ramika Meeks and unalive Ramika Meeks. That is self-defense. Reason why that is self-defense, because you are in the midst of getting your ass whooped and you are thinking to yourself, if I don't do something real quick to get this person off of me, then this person could eventually take my life. And right now I feel that my life is in danger. I have my 6-7 month baby in the car. I have to think quick to get this person off of me.
Yeah, but that wasn't the case. Whew. Well, honey, I tell y'all what, I'm going to be going around this internet trying to figure out what's really going on. Do you hear what I'm saying? If you guys have any new information, please follow me, email me, send me messages on all platforms. You can find it right there at Gigi Medici on X, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Message me, tag me, post me. It don't matter. Send me the information. And I just got some new intel about this case that nobody got. Okay, so I'm going to save that for the Ramika tomorrow. But honey, nobody got the tea I just got, honey. Okay, and I meant to do it today, but I forgot. Woo! So I'm going to save it. So send me the stuff, y'all. Especially send me the stuff nobody got yet. You know, I like that fresh shit. I'm about to go into my other channel, Queenie. Hopefully I see you there.
Hopefully.
I have she going to sleep. I
I
got
might.
Queenie, I know it, Queenie. Okay. You guys know I have 6 other channels and I do gossip on the other ones, but I'll be back here tomorrow. I'll go live every single day. I love you guys. Put those
Gigi,
yes.
is that an AI picture on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
I
So
didn't know.
make sure you hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe. Gigi Medici. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Love y'all. Bye.
All right.
Bye.